Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Startup Confessions with Jesse. And today I have Dr. Kelechi Eboh in the house. And honestly, this is awesome. It's amazing to have you in the house, man. Dr. Kelechi is actually the CEO of Agro-Pro Services, where he partners with farmers across Nigeria to make food more affordable. He's also the founder of Ideas and Vocation Foundation, dedicated to grooming entrepreneurs in agriculture. With over 17 years of experience across finance, telecoms, and pensions, including agriculture, he is a seasoned strategist, a fellow of the Institute of Management, a consultant, and passionate advocate for youth empowerment and sustainable food systems. Man, this is massive. It's a privilege to have you on the show, Dr. Kelechi. You have the stage, man. How are you doing? Give us a background of who you are and what you've been doing.
I'm very all right, Jesse. It's my pleasure catching up with you after a while. It's interesting to be on stage with you and sharing ideas and opportunities. You've already said who I am by the CV or the descriptions you gave about myself. That's who I am.
Amazing one. Very amazing one.
I'm a businessman. What you can call an entrepreneur. I seize opportunities when I see them. And of course, there's this saying that poor people pass over opportunities repeatedly. So when I heard that, I decided that I'm not going to be a poor one. I'll have to be the one that will take over opportunities when I see them. So like you said, I have vested interest in a whole lot of things, but primarily I am trained to be an agriculturist, a farmer. So of course I have to play in the agricultural food chain or the value chain. When you talk about agriculture, you talk about life, you talk about sustainability, you talk about survival, and you talk about food security. And of course, bulk of the problem that we experience in Nigeria and most of other troubled countries and nations is a function of insecurity, starting from food insecurity. That's what spirals into all other vices and things that we see, including corruption. They all spiral and grow from poverty of a shortage of food or food insecurity. When people are not sure of their next meal, they can take to the street, they can commit a whole lot of crimes. The vices is bound to happen in such instances. Yeah. So beyond the training as an agriculturist, I also found myself growing up in a family where we are doing agriculture, though at the subsistence level. So I understand what it means for us to have our hands soiled so that we can have something to put on the table. So that has been my guiding principle, that you must work to eat. Now, for me, making it a business is more like when I started seeing how difficult it is for people to find what to eat. Number one, we're looking at quality of what we eat. We also look at availability. We look at accessibility. These things are the things that will constitute food security. So I think that's why my interest is in agriculture. I have interest in all other areas, but I'm sure you're interested in talking about the Agro-Pro Food Services or Agro-Pro Mart and all of those. All right. So what happened was I run a foundation that is called Ideas and Vocation Foundation. And with that foundation, I was trying to help farmers in the local areas now to assess quality farm inputs. For instance, the variety of cassava that can give them better yield, that can take a shorter time to mature, because if you want to be in the business, you need to look at how to take advantage of time. So in trying to do all of this with rural and local farmers, I created a project that is called Agro-Pro. So Agro-Pro is being a professional in agricultural, in agric, you understand, being a trained entrepreneur in agriculture. Yeah. So that's how we came about the Agro-Pro. So while we are doing Agro-Pro, going to communities, going to villages, doing some of these things without any fee, and just as our corporate social service. So I thought about integrating this and making it a business of its own.
Business.
Now, what happened was there's this story of an old friend who is over 85 years, a retired school teacher, who actually gave me a gift of a cow, one cow. So by the gift of the cow, he told me how he started his own mini ranching, that he was also given a gift of a cow, and he decided not to slaughter the cow. He started keeping the cow and rather bought more to add to it. And as at the time he gave to me, he had a head of cows. He had a whole lot of them in his farm. So I was really interested or impressed by his story. So I said, this cow that you're giving me, I will not also slaughter it, that I want you to keep it in your head, help me rear it so that it will produce more for me. And he also inclined to my request, kept the cow, was feeding it, we kept it. Of course, cow is not chicken that in 1 year it can give you a yield. So it took like 3 years before it took in mature, because he gave me as a calf when it was so small. So it took about 3 years before the cow could take in and, started
give birth.
So now by that, I was proud to be to call myself a cow rearer or a cattle rearer, an owner of a cow. That was what prompted it. So, but before my cow would mature, and I began to think, assuming I have much more than 1 or 2 cows in my stead, how would I manage to sell off if I want? Am I going to sell this live, or am I going to slaughter it? So my friends who knew that I had a cow were now teasing me, asking me, when are you going to bring your cow so we'll slaughter it and eat? So it was just a joke. They were joking about that. So, but what happened was, and I said, okay, rather than kill that my cow, let me get the mother cows, kill it, and then we'll share the meat and eat at a price or at a fee. So I now started sourcing for cows. Now, when I started sourcing for cow, remember, my mentor, the man who gave me his cow, who dashed me, had a whole lot. But he was only selling during festivities, when people are coming to him to say they want to share, they want to buy for festivities. So, and I said, I can actually place a market for your head. I can place a market for the cows in the farm. Let me be selling your own before my own will be due. Do you understand? So now at some point, I bought some. I started buying to add to my number. But I began to sell off for his own cows, slaughter them for my friends. And now I began to do this. What I saw was make meat, for instance, available to my friends at very reduced prices. And the target is to make sure that this meat come cheaper and they are delivered at doorsteps and they compete with market prices. So if they are selling like 5,000 naira per kilo inside the market, when we kill or slaughter in our own farm, we can sell at 4,000 per kilo or even 3,500 per kilo. So by that, you see that the thing now grew beyond my friends. There was demand for cow, for beef, virtually every week. So I created a group for Agro-Pro right now. All the people who need food supplies will now came together. So mine was to source for this food for different people beyond just beef. We are now sourcing for other things. At some point, I was among those who started planting apple in Nigeria. So I used the Agro-Pro platform to also promote the practice of cultivating the westernized apple or the Western apple in Nigeria. So I use the platform to do a whole lot of agricultural businesses, Now, but the thing that has come to mind recently, like you were asking me, what am I up to? I've had this concern about the economic imbalance in the nation. I see the challenges of people. I see the minimum wage that is being paid and what demand that is on that same amount, and you see that people can't take 3 square meals. And at sometimes these salaries are being delayed. People can no longer feed themselves. So I am looking at creating a system where people can even have food before their salaries or before
their salaries come.
And what we started doing was we started partnering with farmers in different locations. So we have gone beyond beef now. We do rice processing, we get into beans, whatever the raw food materials that you can imagine, spices, all of those things. So we bring them all together and we now make them available to followers, across the.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing
Amazing.
now. But we're still working on it. So by the time we're done, I'm sure we're going to be contributing reasonably to food security in the nation, making sure people have food. So we actually have got a warehouse for what I'm saying. So we need to this time we want to be storing and be keeping these things when they are in season, and we can sell in season and out of season.
Yeah.
So food
And out of
will
season.
really be available, yeah, for those who are actually following what we are doing. So this is our new dynamics right now.
Amazing. Honestly, it's a lot, and I really appreciate the fact that you're able to open up, deep into those angles because they are very, very important. Food is a very important part of life. But I was just wondering, what we all know Nigeria, right? We know the issues with Nigeria. How is it actually affecting your own agriculture, your own type of agriculture?
Yeah, the greatest challenge that we're having is everybody suffers the economic realities.
Yeah.
The greatest problem that we'll have is logistics, which is a
Okay.
function of the change in fuel price in Nigeria.
Okay.
Getting the food from the farm gates is not expensive, but moving this food to those who would need it is where the problem lies. It's either you have your own vehicle, even when you do, you're still going to fuel your vehicle, or you're going to have
Yeah.
some changes. The cost of vehicle parts for maintenance is high. So if you're not using your vehicle, you're going to pay through your nose to convey these materials. And of course, when you finish this, the end user will have to pay for this high cost of
Yes.
logistics, transportation, maintenance of the vehicle, and all of those. So this is where we are being
Yeah.
affected
The issues
by the
are.
economic reality. Yes, so it's not easy
Mm.
in that area. We've been finding it
Yeah.
difficult. So yeah,
Definitely is something that affects almost every sector, but we all have to find a way through the situations in the country, right? We have to find our way
yeah,
through it and do what we need to do despite the
yeah.
situation in the country. But then for somebody who is just coming into entrepreneurship, he wants to enter into agriculture. What's that misconception they usually have you know about agriculture?
Yeah, everybody thinks agriculture is for the poor people. They believe because of the orientation that we have had right from school days, there's a belief that people
Yeah.
who practice agriculture are those who have their shorts that is patched, their singlets are torn. Those are the pictures that are given to us in our agricultural
Yeah.
textbooks at the primary level.
Hmm.
So that impression sticks with our heads, or sticks in our heads. So most times it doesn't go. When you talk about food, they look at you as someone who is suffering. The other
Yes.
one is that people have not also realized that agriculture can be mechanized. Can the
Yeah.
technology can also be deployed into agriculture. They look at it as something that is still crude, something that is uninviting. That's why youths
Yes.
and young people do not ordinarily will not ordinarily want to go into agriculture. They will tell you that we're into tech, we do tech, but they forget that tech can be married into a whole lot of things. So most times we don't think about what's sustainable. But I want to say this: why I believe that if anybody wants to make it good in Nigeria, agriculture is one of the sectors that should be considered. Is that we'll have the population, and the population will have to feed to keep alive.
Definitely.
So if you can
Definitely.
identify your point in the value chain, either you are
Mhm.
producing, or that you are processing, or that you are marketing, you're delivering to end users, either of these can make you tremendous wealth if you understand the
Exactly.
dynamics and how to go about it. And sometimes it doesn't take so much. No, you may not also be producing, you can actually be supporting farmers. You're just giving them inputs. You're able to produce chemicals, or you know how to use the chemicals, or even you have a vast knowledge of application, because one thing is to have, another thing is to apply. Excuse me. So if you have the knowledge of how to apply, you can also be of use
Yeah.
to the farmers. You can do something that they don't know, or you have a better way of doing this. Extension services can as well pay money if you can identify the market that can pay you. So it all depends
Yeah.
on where you want to come into this, but I can tell you,
Yes.
provided people eat every day, you are making money every day. Now, the thing is knowing where and how to get into it. Sometimes it doesn't need so much money to get into agriculture. It's one of the easiest things that you can start with. Someone can even start agriculture with 1,000 naira and then can turn himself into a millionaire. Yes, I can tell you that. You can start agriculture with 1,000 naira and you can turn into a millionaire. But of course, when you start with low capital, you need to give yourself some time and then you can do that.
Yes, a lot of
So
time.
like I can share with you, if you have, here, I'm in Abuja, but in the East, there is this value for breadfruit, okwa. A
Yes.
seedling of okwa can be sold for 1,000 naira. If you have the improved variety, what they call the agric, and then you plant it and give it like 3 years, it starts fruiting. Do you understand? You can make
Yeah.
like 30, 40, 50 fruits, or it comes like balls. You know how it comes, the fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when it comes and then you have it, you can make more than that 1,000 naira that you invested. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you actually used 1,000, you invested, you sowed it on the
Yes.
ground and allowed it 3 years. It can fruit, it will mature, you will process it. There is no way in 1 year on that fruit that you don't make up to
Mm.
300,000 naira if you are very much accountable using 1,000
Wow.
naira seedling.
Wow.
So imagine you're doing 10 seedlings. You're a producer, you're a farmer. And that doesn't stop you from going to work. You're still doing what you're supposed to do. You're going to your
Mm-hmm.
office. You're not needed at the farm at
Yes.
all times. You allow this thing to grow on its own. Maybe you do some little applications at intervals. But when it starts fruiting, you're already making money without so much ado. What
Yeah.
about planting? We have purple fields or plots of lands that are not being put to use. You can plant a seedling of purple, which will cost you nothing. Just go to market where the fruit market and pick a purple seed. Maybe you consider quite good. Plant around, do the nursery, then transplant. One seedling can give you up to 50 fruits. And you cannot sell one fruit for less than 100 naira. Imagine something you got free of charge, you put it on an empty plot that is
Yes.
not being put to use, and now you're having
And
up
it
to 50
produces.
stands, each of them giving you like 50 fruits, and you take it to the market and sell at a ridiculous price of 50 naira per fruit. Imagine how much you can do the arithmetics. You know how much you're going to
Mm-hmm.
make just doing this careless act, mindless act. You just did this and you forgot about it. And in less than 6 months, it has fruited. I talked about the breadfruit that will take up to 3 years. This one is about 6 months.
Yes.
What about tomato at the back of the house? What about aloe vera? There are things you can put. Sometimes I wonder why people will have to decorate their homes with beautiful flowers that are not producing anything that you can eat. So there are things you can have at the back of the house. Yes, people can come by. Aloe vera is what I have seen
Yeah.
people, they cut for the hair, for a lot of things. You can use it as a decoration in your place, and that can give you money. You are in the agricultural value chain because you are involved in planting
Yeah.
or plant life, and then you're harvesting. So these are little things that we can do. Everybody is practicing agriculture, but the mindset of the agribusiness is what we all do not have. Some people do this as this is what we are taught to do. They do it for subsistence, but even your subsistence practices
Yes.
can actually be converted to commerce, can be converted to
Mm-hmm.
businesses, can be converted to money. Do you understand? So it is just how you want to do this. There are too many people
Amazing.
who
Wow.
do what they do not understand and what they do not know.
Mm-hmm.
But these things, if we have record or statistics of all, these things are contributing to the national GDP. So whatever the
Yes,
practice you do in
definitely.
agriculture, you're part of it. You're having an exchange. Do you understand? And of course, these days people want to
Yeah.
live organic. Nobody wants anything that is chemically produced. They want organic. So if you can produce something and that this is coming from your stable and direct from the farm, free of chemicals, free of impurities and all that, people will want to
Preservatives.
patronize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, preservatives. Want to live healthy. Want to be alive. So anything agriculture these days will sell. But what matters is how are you making it available? How do people know what you're doing? I think anybody
Yeah.
considering this should think twice. It's worthwhile.
Talk to the young entrepreneur. There's this notion people have about agriculture, like you said, it's for, those who are either they are poor or maybe they are not touche, they are not techie. But then there's this talk to the young entrepreneur who just came out of school, who probably finished his NYSC. He's looking forward to entering into something that's going to be big in the future, and he's considering agriculture. Would you advise him to? And even if you do, what areas of agriculture would you actually want to advise him to go into?
Okay, there is this thing that I believe: the farther you are from the market, the more money you're going to make, or the farther you are from the farm gates, the more money you're going to make. So if you want to enjoy the agribusiness, you should be able, if you have the selling skill, you're already at a very good point. Now, let the farmers produce. Maybe you don't have the capital to get into production or farming and all that, but you can wait for them at the farm gates. You can take whatever they have produced and take it to the market. You can be their off-taker. Do you understand? Or you can be the middleman. You bring the users to the market, to the farmers. You can build bridges. So that one doesn't cost you money to do. You can just sell information. There are some things. I don't know if you are aware that bitter cola, as it is now, bitter cola, one bitter cola goes for like 200 naira. I don't know if you know.
I don't buy bitter cola actually. I don't buy it.
Bitter cola one can go for 100 naira, 200 naira, and up to 500 naira, depending on the size. Do you understand?
Wow.
Exporters are looking for this produce. They are looking and seeking for where they can get it. So if you know people who have this, these are trees that we don't have at the back of our houses without having value for them. We'll just use bitter cola as nothing. Like you don't buy it, but you may be eating it sometimes. So these are things that if you know where to source this, you can actually be the middleman. What about cashews? What about cashews, cashew nuts, and all of those? So if you know people are looking for this sesame seeds, there are people, international businessmen who come into the country and they are seeking for opportunities or sources for this produce. So if you have such information, it can be a good point for you. Now, let's not even go too far. It may be just for kernel oil, or it may be red oil, palm oil. That's maybe what's available in your location. Or groundnut oil, maybe you're in the north, groundnut oil. So whatever the thing it is that is obtainable in your location, you can take advantage of such things. But one thing is seeing opportunity. There is an eye with which you can see opportunities that are around you. And sometimes I wonder why opportunities are bound. There are things to do, but it's just about you being able to understand and to identify what these things are. If you can identify one and do it, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. You're good.
Honestly, agriculture, I don't think I've actually taken things, I've not looked at things through this viewpoint, So any young entrepreneur watching right now, this is an eye opener for you. Look within your area, look within your region. What is that thing you can actually lay your hands on and, plant and then be able to, get profits at the end of when it's able to bring out products. So to be honest, I want you to talk a bit about Ideas and Vocation Foundation. Let's digress a little. What is it about Ideas and Vocation Foundation? Give us a brief breakdown of what it's all about.
All right. Ideas and Vocation Foundation was born out of passion to support entrepreneurs, to support young people who would want to get into business generally. Some of us will enter school, the formal education, will train for years and then graduate and come out to still learn what people who didn't go to school to learn in Onisha, Aba, and in other places.
Frustrating. Really
exactly.
frustrating.
So enterprise development is something I have seen that is lacking most times in what people do. So it was born out of passion to support people, to support entrepreneurship. Now, what happened is that because of my passion and interest in agriculture, I now ventured into training agropreneurship, training people on opportunities and then making them see things that are different. Because whatever that I do, at some point, all I was farming was just, how do you call it? Western fruits, like the berries we eat. Yeah, the berries we eat, the grapes, the apple, and all of those. Those were the things that were catching my interest. Pomegranates. I have them planted at the back of my house. So I was just interested in propagating these ideas and the production of this produce or these fruits. So Ideas and Vocation is actually for entrepreneurial development, guiding people,
Yeah.
mentorship, and at some point we're also doing financing of ideas and partnerships with those who are produce or people who underwent our training.
Okay.
We partner with them in
Okay.
some ideas or encourage them in what they should do. So that's Ideas and
Okay.
Vocation Foundation for you.
I'm really excited that you guys are, your main target audience are young entrepreneurs, because those are the same set of people that we are preparing this show for. Those are the same set of people that are watching right now. So I would like you to talk to them and ask, and I'm trying to find out what is that major mistake most of these people make when they come to you, at the foundation. What is the major mistakes they are making?
The first mistake is that people don't even want to stay in Nigeria. The youth.
Tell me
Yeah,
about
that's the
it.
first mistake. Yeah, the first mistake is that their minds are not here. They want to
Oh yeah.
run away, yet they come to you with the mindset that we want to do something. You can't succeed in a place where you don't believe. If you don't believe in this
Yes.
nation, you cannot get anything out of the nation. If your mind is about traveling and you're still thinking you want to do business by the side, it will pay you by the side. But if you make it your main, if you major in this place and look at identify opportunities and things, your mind won't even be conceiving the idea of I want to japa, I want to run away, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's good. It's easy for those who travel. But if they also tell you what they go through before they balance or before they survive the new locations, you will also realize that
Yeah,
staying back here and the cost can even give you much more money. I think,
definitely.
yes, if you have the mindset of let me benchmark, how much are they being paid in a month when they travel abroad? $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $5,000. What can you also serve or provide in Nigeria that can also pay you the tune of amount
That
getting
kind of
abroad?
amount.
And
Yes.
of course, yes, if you make such amount being here, you are able to do much more things than what they can do. They only enjoy their money when they come back to Nigeria. But you are here, you're enjoying it, you're getting the cruise, yes, and you're comfortable. The first thing is believing in Nigeria, believing in the opportunities that are here,
Yes.
believing that we'll have the population, believing that opportunities are bound, believing that you can find your feet in this nation. So when people graduate newly, they come with fear and they believe stories that they have heard about those who didn't do right. And they are telling you Nigeria is hard and
Mhm.
difficult and people are not surviving. I'm not saying it's a bed of roses, but I'm saying that people should change that if they would want to survive here.
Their
Focus
mentality.
on your focus.
Yes.
Yes, focus on your
Yes.
focus. Leave what other people are telling you. You can find your feet in this nation. If anything can pay you 5 naira, it can also pay you 5 million. It can pay you 5 billion. So it's about your mindset, believing that this thing is there anybody that is doing that business? And I believe in doing regular things in unusual ways. So you can
Yeah.
find something that exists and then put a tweak to it, change it, bring in something new about it, and you have changed it.
Honestly, I can't agree more. I can't agree more
Yeah.
with you, because this Japa phenomenon has taken over the entire ecosystem in Nigeria. Like, most youths and most entrepreneurs, they're not even thinking local. All they are thinking of is how to run away to
Exactly.
become slaves or servants in a foreign country, which is,
And
an
it
ideology
doesn't
we are
come,
looking forward to changing.
it doesn't even come cheap. It doesn't even come cheap because you're going to
At
run
all.
away with like 5 million. Do you understand? You're going to buy flight tickets, you're going to do your visa and all of those, and the agents will make some money off you. Now, imagine
Yes.
having that 5 million together. There are too many businesses that you can do. I can give you 50 businesses you can do with less than 500,000 naira, and you're stable. I can tell you, like 50. I can tell you. And in fact, you will even employ people with 500,000 naira if you know what you're doing. In less than 6 months, you can be turning in millions. So it's about our mindset.
Wow.
Our mindset is about what we believe and what we want to do. Do you understand? So,
Yes.
first of all, the young people coming out of school should believe that they can survive and that they have a space in the Nigerian ecosystem. And I also propose that sometimes practices should be done while we're still in school and not when we graduate. As you're a student,
Yes.
you can actually find your hands on something. You can actually find a way to make sure. We have realized, no, I'm not among those who will say that education has failed us. It hasn't failed us. Otherwise, I wouldn't have fought that. It hasn't failed us. It has exposed us. But again, when you go and you just want to be a bookworm, you can be a medical doctor who does not understand the business of medicine. You can be a
That's
lawyer who
true.
doesn't understand the business of law. Do you understand?
Yes.
So we must have our hands on and have business mindsets while we are going through school, so that when we come out, it won't be difficult to find opportunities, take advantage of
Mm-hmm.
them, scale up whatever the thing that we have started doing while we are still students. I think this is my advice for anyone who is in school and anyone who is coming out.
Amazing. So tell me, where do you see agribusiness going in the next few years?
Agro-Pro, agro-business.
Agribusiness in Nigeria.
Agro-business in Nigeria. It has come to stay. It has
Mm-hmm.
no
Where do
end.
you
It
see
has
it?
always been. It has always been. And in fact,
Do you
agro-business
think
is Nigeria.
more young people will keep entering? Do you think
Yeah, I
more
think
young people will keep coming in?
no, listen, it's not about choice. It's not about choice. This is something that will have to happen. And with the way we're going with tech or technology and everything, the social
Yeah.
media, even younger people are now getting involved in agriculture, I can tell you. But
Yeah.
they do not even understand that they are playing in the agricultural sector. That's what I am saying. You see people doing drop shipping and they don't even know that they are selling agri products. They just want to sell and
Yes.
make money and run away, but they don't understand the sector and they haven't formalized their businesses, maybe incorporating it and making it a focus. They are still doing these things by the side. But when you aggregate what they are
Mm.
doing, they are even contributing much more than those who have made it businesses. But just that they have not focused on it and they have not seen it as a business. It hasn't been structured. That's what is
Yes.
happening. But I see young people getting involved. They're already involved, not getting, they're already involved. Yeah, they're already involved. But they don't understand what they are doing or the sector where they're playing. It's
All
prestigious to
right.
say that I'm an IT expert, so they enjoy giving themselves names that may not even be theirs.
Yes.
You know,
And tech.
yeah,
They'll say they are into
and
tech,
tech,
they're into
yeah,
IT,
agri
and
doesn't
it
sound
makes
tech, so
it sounds
agri
boring.
doesn't sound it doesn't sound tech. So they are doing agri without knowing what they're doing, and they call it tech or whatever thing they call it. But that's the reality. Young people are playing in agriculture.
All right, so let's go a bit personal. Could you share a bit more about some of your hardest seasons in entrepreneurship? What are some of those hardest period that you were like, I'm done, I just can't continue, with this agro stuff?
Yeah, sometimes brick walls.
Yeah,
Sometimes it won't be quite easy,
Rosie.
especially, yeah, it won't be so rosy, and especially when you're running businesses and you know that you're going to be playing the role of a god in your business. You know what I mean is that if you need light, you have to provide light for yourself. If you need water, you have to say, let there be water. Whatever you need, you have to play God and call it to being. That's how entrepreneurship is here. That's how it plays out. So you have to be right in your mind. You have to be audacious in your thoughts. You have to, be
Yeah.
strong in your belief. So I haven't got to the point where I feel like business is not worth it. I haven't got to that
Okay.
point. In fact, it is fun for me because I'm one person who believes that any money that doesn't have process, there's no fun behind it. Why we make money is
Yeah.
how we can navigate through all of these things, and then we have conquered. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. It builds your confidence that, oh, these challenges, I'm able to come here. So I
Yes.
think yeah. So the greatest thing that people will always tell you is capital, but then I also don't agree. I believe that the greatest difficulty and the challenge an entrepreneur will face is ideation. Ideation is the
Mm.
greatest problem in entrepreneurship, not capital. People don't think, and when they think, they don't actually think deep about what they want to do. So it's not capital. If you can have a good ideation process, the capital you need is in that
Yeah.
process. You can actually identify where to get it and where people can come in into your business. So I haven't really had such, even though there have been losses, there have been times we get cold,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean we have gone under. It's just about re-strategizing and coming back with new ideas. We keep pushing so long as there's life. That's how we can be all happy and excited when we get to the last bus stop or when we win and cross over our hurdles.
Amazing. Honestly, I would have loved to continue, but we just have to, end very soon. It's been an amazing time speaking with you. But before you go, can you just, share one last advice? Give us one advice. That young entrepreneur, give him one last advice before you go.
Okay, I just leave you with my mantra. I just say two things. Learn to earn. That's one statement. Learn
Hmm.
to earn. Learn a
Yeah.
skill. Learn an idea. Learn something. Don't go about with the idea of your business. Learn something, master it, and get involved. We've had too many quacks or people who do not believe in what they want
Yeah.
to do. Be a professional in what you want to do. That's what I mean by learn to earn. The other one is work
Learn
hard.
to earn.
Yeah, the other one is work hard, work smart, and play hard.
I like the playing part.
Me too, I like playing. So
Very important.
I like to play. We can't all be serious at all times. Otherwise, we'll die before our time. So
Yes.
play. And the only way you can play, you have to be sure you have money coming into your pocket on daily basis. Then you can be comfortable to play because every day you open your doors, bills are coming. Costs are
Yeah.
waiting for you. Just that you are awake, you have bills that are waiting for you
Hmm.
to treat. So um, do what you can. We may not have made it, we may not have come to that point, but do whatever you can to make sure at least you earn enough to pay your bills, and you won't be a burden. You won't be asking for urgent 2K all the time. So
Urgent 2K.
that's my advice. Yeah, being independent financially. Being independent financially is important.
Wow, it's been an amazing session with you, Dr. Kelechi. Honestly, I feel like not ending this podcast. I feel like going forward, but we just need to end it right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been Dr. Kelechi Eboh. He has actually dissected a lot of things about the agricultural business, told us a bit about Agro-Pro, his Agro-Pro services, and open our minds to seeing the profitability of agriculture, especially in Nigeria. He also tried to change our mindset on the Japa mentality, making us understand that no matter how small, that money you have, whatever investment you have, you can put it into agriculture and then follow it through, and it will turn into something big in a couple of years. So thank you so much, Dr. Kelechi, for being on the podcast. Please, how can we find you? Give us, a link to your social media handles. How can we find you?
All right, you just go to YouTube and see Insights with Dr. K. You go to Facebook
Insights
and
with
also
Dr.
see
K.
Insights with Dr. K. And
Okay.
on you can also look out for Agro-Pro on Facebook, and if you want to see some of the agricultural practices we have ever done, they are there. So just click on our link on the YouTube and follow for more. I thank you. That's just all I can say now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kelechi. It's been nice having you on the podcast. Guys, until next time, continue liking, continue sharing, continue support startup conversations with Jesse. It's been an amazing time with Dr. Kelechi, and next week we'll be having some other guests coming. So make sure you don't miss out on our next episode. Dr. Kelechi, thank you so much, and until next time, bye.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate